to a one-parter Let's Play. We are, I am playing Golden Axe, the arcade version, here for the channel on the Xbox 360, Xbox Live, with the Sega Vintage Collection series. So, the original Golden Axe was released in 1989 in the arcades. Here I am messing with some of the features here for a second, just trying to get everything together. We are all set. I used a dwarf for this one. And in this one, if you play the Genesis version, you essentially play the arcade version, minus a few, besides graphics being a big difference. Controls are a little more different within the arcade release as well. It's not as smooth as the Genesis version is. Of course, this released first. Sega Genesis got this along with 2 extra stages. My guess of most likely is to extend the gameplay a bit because it takes about 15 minutes or so, at least in the arcade version, if you just don't give a crap. It takes about 15 minutes to finish from start to end. And here we are starting off with Turtle Village. All the classic enemies are there. You got those little golems, you got the guy with the maces. You got the chicks, I guess. I know I'm coming up with some weird names for them, but yeah, I don't remember them at the moment. Probably be a good idea for me to put them up while I'm editing. So, you got the thief. I know the blue dude is a thief. There are 2 different kinds in this game. Blue gives you potion, which is the magic bar up top. Green ones give you food. You can find the blue ones during the stage and also in between stages. You can only find the green ones in between stages. But speaking of magic, here I am using the full bar of magic. You see it has different levels there. Each of the 3 characters have different magic levels. And this with the dwarf being the shortest to fulfill, with only 4 potions for max power. However, I believe his power may be the weakest. Not sure, but we took care of them giant dudes real easily. We got the bonus stage. In the Genesis version, this wasn't counted as a separate stage of its own. So this would be like stage 1, bonus stage 2. Here they count this as stage 2 for some reason. Our sworn enemy, Death equals Adder, is in his castle. We'll take a shortcut through the Turtle Village. My apologies, this is the Turtle Village. And you hear the tunes of the Golden Axe soundtrack. I love this game's soundtrack. It is sweet, beautiful, classic. It really gets you amped up for the situation that you're in too. Especially as we get to the final area. There we go, toss his ass. You can do the same thing with these enemies here. Just like how you did in the Genesis version, you can do it here. And we got our dinosaur friends back. They're just as useful in this version as they are in the... Well, I say in this version. This is the original, of course. Ooh. First life has been lost. Yeah, but some of these enemies, they can take a bit of damage. Yeah, because I believe like in the Genesis, like 2 flames would take them out, and they took a little bit more of a beating beforehand before those 2 flames, so... There we go. Also, since this is on the Vintage Collection, you can change the settings, as you saw in the very beginning. You can set the, normal settings, which I currently have. I believe there's a hardcore mode, which is just, I think, 1 continue, 1 life, and 1 bar of health. And you have to beat the entire game with that. Or you can just use your own custom settings as well. Ooh, for some reason, because I think I have that extra space over there, like that, there's a gap between where it says stage 3 in the corner of the screen where it's like nothing is affected. Enemies can walk through it, but your attacks won't register through it. There's been more than a few times during this run, like there, where I'm thinking I'm gonna hit them, and it's just like, nope, not even close. Yeah, you don't want to mess with those skeleton mobs. I took the time because if you remember in the Genesis version, they take a lot of health. If they get you in a combo, they can easily take 2 bars of health, and I was not chancing it. Because once you lose your three lives, that counts as a quarter. And if this was, and if, like I mentioned, if this was hardcore mode, this would have been where my adventure would have ended. But listen, wait, how far do I get? Again, this is post commentary. This is not live right now. The village was on the back of a giant turtle, and the turtle took itself across the sea. And I love this stage's theme so much. I just love, like I said, the soundtrack in this game is nothing short of beautiful. You got your pink dinosaur, which shoots fireballs instead of flames to the floor. And pretty damaging, too. Could take out some of the enemies within 1 hit with 1 fireball. Ow. Ooh. And as you can see, I was really close with that one. My goodness. Thieves are coming back so you can fill up your magic bar as needed. The dwarf's magic power is more electric based. The woman Tyrus Flare, her magic powers are fire based, and at max power she uses like a freaking dragon that just destroys everything on screen. And we got the blue, there we go, the big guys are coming out. Keep shooting the fireballs because you never know when they're going to come out, because the second one's going to come out. There you go. But yeah, Tyrus's Flare's magic is full power is a dragon, which destroys everything on screen. The blue guy with the sword. You know what? I've never used him that often. It was always either the dwarf. Well, my favorite is the dwarf, or Tyrus, the female. She was like my second used character in the game, and I don't Axe Battler, I think was his name or something like that. Yeah, I never really got to use his powers much. But this boss is a pain in the butt here in the Genesis version. I can't imagine the arcades, but since we were able to keep the dragon all the way through, you can easily destroy him. Here's something in the Genesis where they change in the Genesis version, from arcade to Genesis, excuse me. We have gone in close vicinity to the castle, but the way is packed by enemy lines. We must dare the fiend's path. Arcade, you start off exactly where you fought the last boss. In the Genesis version, you just start off like with a giant wall. You don't see the background of the boss fight, at least from what I remember, or if I never noticed. You don't start off exactly where the boss door is. You just move forward a little bit, and then there you go. You just keep going on with the level. If I'm wrong, please let me know. And my most hated enemies in Golden Axe history, which there were only 3 games. Well, there were more than 3 games. There was for the Sega Ages 2500 on the PS2, which played like a Golden Axe game. The graphics looked like crap, especially for PS2 standards, but the game was functional enough. I never got the chance to play it myself, though, unfortunately. I do want to try it one day. I do have a PS2, but I don't know if it was just Japan exclusive or unsure, but I'll probably have to look it up afterwards. What an odd time for the music to play. There we go, that takes care of one. Ow. There we go. We got one more wave of enemies to go. A couple more skeletons, along with the clay guys. I always call them clay because in the Genesis version it gives off a shine a bit. They kind of look like they're that's the thought I got growing up, is that they were made from like clay or no, pottery is made from clay. What the hell am I saying? I was gonna say they look like they're made of pottery. And of course my first continue goes to here. If I had not gotten hit by a skeleton, that definitely would have, you know, I still definitely would have kept a continue. Or not have to use my first continue until later. There we go. Burn the crotch. There we go. The Fiend's path was a great, great eagle. We are taken across the skies to the castle. Now the final battle begins. And it plays the boss theme for this area. We are indeed the last area of the game. Ow. There you go. You want to be careful not to throw yourself off there either. It has happened to me plenty of times in this game. Now, if you can try to keep the dragon as long as you can. I believe there is a pink one coming up. Yeah, I'm trying to strategize here to try to get the enemy, so that way I can knock them off the edge. Because on the bottom left, you can knock them off. Yeah, and it's, you see, I gotta try to keep the dragon here for as long as I can, because if you're unable to keep the dragon after you defeat these guys, you're gonna be in a bit of trouble. You'll see why in a moment. You got two of these monsters coming after you. So you gotta use your dragon friend, use the fire flame, so that we can just keep tossing and bam, burn them to a crisp. Something does happen here though. I try to do the setup so that way I can try to knock one off, and I get swiped. Yeah, these two guys you do not want to mess with normally, because yeah, they can intercept your shot like that. And each hit from their sword or shield is one energy health, one unit of energy gone. And we get a transition. In Genesis, it darkens out and darkens back in, but here we get a mini transition of all the enemies before you fight Death Adder, along with the thieves. I should have waited just a little bit longer, because I would have gotten Death Adder on that as well. There we go, another continuous. I think it's 3 so far. The skeletons in this one will give you trouble as well if you're not careful. Death Adder, for some reason I got him to just keep doing that one move there. Normally he's just, as you get close to him, he'll take swipes at you, so you want to be careful, but that punch that has that magic travel to you seems to be his most favorite attack in all of this. Now, with the skeletons, more and more are going to show up. I cannot remember if they were, I don't think they're not infinite, because you can't get rid of all of them. At least that's what I remember. It's been a long day. I may not be, I may be misremembering, but yeah, it's just the skeletons keep coming. Death Adder swipes, and you just gotta try to defeat everything. And I forgot for a moment there that once you get a continue, you get one little magic, and it's something I failed to realize, which is the reason why I'm not using it. I'm focused on the skeletons and Death Adder than the magic bar itself, because at this point I'm like, oh no, it's all gone. Ow. They hit you. There we go. There's my realization. Yeah, but if those homing shots hit you, blow your ass up, and that's one unit of energy gone like that. Was a little bit too early with the hit there. Got swiped in the end. Yeah, stun them in the lock like this. Yeah, I get blown up. One more should do it. One more should do it. One more should do it. There we go. And that's the end of the game. So, ending will go by quick. I'll just say this now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have yourselves a fantabulous night. Love, peace, and chicken grease to all of the awesome ones out there. Remember to always help control the pocket monster population. Have your Pokemon spayed or neutered. And I will see you guys in the next game.